15 years, from Afghanistan to Pakistan to Yemen, Syria, and Iraq. For 15 years, we've been chasing the serious but non-existential global malignancy that is militant Islam around the globe as it writes its way across our landscapes.
What we can't do is think that we're just going to play whack-a-mole and send U.S. troops occupying various countries wherever these organizations pop up.
It's been 15 years, guys. Whack-a-mole is more than a metaphor. It's a lamentation. Are we still stuck doing this? Why are we no closer? How do we stop playing whack-a-mole? We need a better way to talk about this. We need more common frames of reference. I'll give it a quick shot here, a thought exercise to describe our efforts against the problem, what we've done till now. If it strikes a chord, feel free to use or improve. Here's basically what we do in 3 rough categories. Kinetic disruption. By this, I mean actual, physical disruption of terrorist safe havens once they are filled with terrorists, and almost always after they've begun to project power back out. For some strange reason, our leaders still insist on calling this going on offense. Some advocate a heavy footprint here, others not. The havens still exist. They aren't smaller. They are simply less safe and comfortable for terrorists to operate in. Next, we try to limit the size and utility of the havens, mostly by shrinking them, often funding our allies to reclaim control of that territory, or at the very least, by paying them to limit the inflows and outflows of men, money, and guns to and from. It's often about expanding the capacity of the state or other local players to respond. The goal here is very simply to shrink the amount of territory available. So that's generally how we approach terrorist safe havens. Well, what about the ideology? We also try to make the ideology itself less appealing to potentially receptive populations. This is our support to economic development and governance efforts like the reduction of graft, fighting the actual terrorist narrative too, those sorts of soft power things. These are, in a sense, quarantine activities, making folks less susceptible to radicalization. So if we box things like that, does it tell us anything? It's not comprehensive, but helps me process where we are and maybe illuminate some of where that missing piece is, that missing 4th element, how to prevent the ideology itself from spreading. We will not shoot, state build, or develop our way out of this. Let's accept that and know, if we're going to have a chance at breaking this cycle before another 15 years goes by, again we need to figure out how to prevent this particular radical ideology from spreading into future inevitably occurring havens. Preventing the ideology itself from spreading, not just denying it real estate or an audience. That's the missing element of our national strategy. That's our frontier. We don't have good answers here yet, and so we remain stuck. As the 15th anniversary of 9/11 approaches, that's our challenge. Let's get to work.